Okay, we're going to leave the PIC, Commission of Inquiry, for a short while. Julius Malema is currently speaking with the issue around Karima Brown. Let's listen in.
Address it with her directly, sis?
No, I can't, because she will tell me where to get off. She's not bound by any journalist ethics code. It's like me asking any ordinary person on the street, why do you do this? They will tell me where to get off. I've got no jurisdiction over them. They are individuals. If she was a journalist, I will take it up with her. I've taken up issues with all of you, including this one from ENCA. I call him and tell him, yeah, you are wrong. And I've never exposed his number. But I've got no jurisdiction over her. She was in the group because she was a journalist at some point. She has lost that privilege.
So, Mr. Malema, you see no need for you to apologize for some of the things your members had actually said to her?
No, I don't even know if they are members. You see, you're making an allegation which you can't justify. You can't produce their membership card. An avatar on an Instagram or WhatsApp or Facebook doesn't make you a member, especially in the era of fake news, where people say all types of things hiding behind the social media. So there's no member of the EFF who has attacked West through the mandate of the EFF. There's no such an instruction issued from the EFF. You see, this thing of trying to create an impression that EFF people are mental hospital patients, it's wrong. That every time they act in an irrational manner, every time they act in a mad manner, it's insultive, it's disrespectful of black people. It's to think the worst of black people, that they can't think on their own, that they do not know what is wrong and right. I think that EFF members are well upstairs. They can differentiate between wrong and right, and they will never do anything to harm our democracy and to harm anyone in this country. This narrative that continues to suggest that they are mad, it's how black people are being viewed, and that narrative must come to an end. That black people can't think, they always follow illegal instructions. There's no such a thing about black people.
Mr. Malema, can you then condemn the threats of rape and violence against her, irrespective of whether it's a journalist or not, as an individual?
No individual must be threatened of rape. Rape is a serious problem in South Africa. Anyone who has done that actually must be locked up and rot in jail for a very long time. Things like rape, things like violent crimes are not the things to go around playing with them. We've got a serious problem in South Africa of violence against women. We've got a serious problem of rape in South Africa. It's not something that you can threaten a person with. It doesn't matter how much you disagree with those people. We have not, but we're condemning it. We're saying either in our name or not, it's unacceptable. Even if it's done by EFF members, which I doubt, it's unacceptable. And if there are people who have acted in such irrational manner, she must get them locked up.
Like taking it beyond Karima, your continuous being on a collision course with the media, what does that say about your subscription to the promotion of media?
Give me one example.
No, I'm saying, before...
No, you're saying I'm continuing with the problem with the media. Give me one example now.
Last year, Sunday Times...
No, I'm saying now. You're saying it's continuing like it's happening now.
Because I'm saying it's happened before, it's happening again.
Where? No, again where?
Now with Karima.
Karima is not a journalist.
But she's a media person.
No, but she's not a journalist.
But she has a show in NCA.
No, but she's not a journalist. She's not an editor. She's not a journalist.
What is she?
I don't know. You tell me, because you're calling her media. She's not media. She's not governed by the bodies that govern journalists and editors. And therefore, those rules do not apply to her. She's not a journalist. She's just an individual who hosts the show. And therefore, she will be treated as such. There is no journalist, not one, that can claim we've got their numbers. We can claim that we've exposed their numbers because they said something we do not like. We exposed them because we didn't want to generalize about journalists. We must start isolating the rogue ones and expose them for who they are, that they are not journalists, they masquerade as such, and therefore they must be exposed. Why put the lives of Gogos in danger and say you want to know where they come from and do what with it? That is not journalism. That is something else, and we want to know what is this for? What operation is this thing? Is this state security going after EFF events and trying to collapse them, or going around threatening the people who attend EFF events? We have a responsibility to defend the EFF against anyone who wants to destroy the EFF. We'll never allow that.
So you're assuming that Karima may want to destroy the EFF?
I think she's a state agent. I think she's an operative. I think she's intelligence. I say that. She's an intelligence, she's an operative.
Working for who in the state?
For state security. I think she's working for state security.
Under Ramaphosa.
Well, who's the head of the state? It's Ramaphosa. We shouldn't ask certain questions. Even in 101 journalism, and those questions do not arise. She's an operative. Yes. I can't prove them. I'm saying to you, I think. I'm not saying she works. I'm very careful with my words. That's why I've never got into trouble.
But Mr. Malema, this is
I'm not new into this game. I think she works for state security. The questions were crafted in such a way that they were so suspicious, and that's how, by the way, operatives write. So that's why we became so concerned, and we have had to raise an alarm.
On a lighter note, this bromance that you are seeing between yourself and the incumbent president of the republic, where does this bromance come from? And since you link Karima to state security and say Cyril is the head of the state, does this in any way affect your relationship with the incumbent president of the republic?
Well, I don't have a relationship with the president of the republic. We are colleagues, and from time to time we will meet to exchange the notes, particularly on issues of national importance. And therefore I've got no relationship with Cyril. If I had a relationship with Cyril, I will not contest him. I'm contesting now. Why? I don't think he's fit to be a president. And by the way, the things that Ramaphosa set up, Terra said about him in parliament, I believe them. I've heard them before. And therefore, why would I have a relationship with such a character? I've heard so many stories about him. So many devastating and scary stories about him. And that's why I will never agree that such a person should be left uncontested. If I had a full confidence in the president and that he's a man of integrity with no questionable credentials, especially during the times of struggle, I wouldn't contest him. I'm contesting him.
So you've never met around Hyde Park where the both of you used to stay, or the other one still stays?
He doesn't stay very far from where my wife stays, but I've never met him. I've never been to his house. I've never met him in his house. We've always met in public places and in state-owned buildings.
Julius, I just want to speak about some of the things you were speaking about now this morning. Looking at Ekurhuleni, we do know that there's some tension between the ANC here and its coalition partners. Has the EFF thought about that? Has the EFF tried to maybe see if there's a way to realign what's happening in Ekurhuleni?
Well, in Ekurhuleni, we've always tried to remove the mayor, and if opportunity presents itself, we'll remove him, because we don't think that he deserves to be a mayor here. You have listened to the terrible stories that our people are telling here. And they are not told by EFF members, they are told by old people. There is a COO in that municipality who is always engaged in some shenanigans. The EFF tried to remove that COO. The mayor is defending that COO. And that COO has got serious allegations against him in the some report of SIU. And then secondly, there were reports that he was engaged in some corruption which was claiming to be building some roads or parks in the area here. When the CFO investigated and found that those things do not exist, the mayor, working with the COO, suspended the CFO because they didn't want that truth to come out. This corruption that these people are speaking about, we know it. It's here in Ekurhuleni. It requires leadership. Because there's no leadership here.
Have you been meeting with the coalition partners, the ANC's coalition partners, the AIC, to find a way forward?
Well, we don't talk to any political party. Look, we don't want to get into any marriage where we've got some form of obligations. We want to be flexible like that. If an opportunity comes to remove the mayor, we will remove the mayor, and we will support anyone who's got programs to clean this Ekurhuleni. After the elections, we are ourselves going into government. We're going to be MMCs in Johannesburg. We're going to be a mayor in Tshwane, and we will go into a coalition with anyone who's prepared to speak to that arrangement. We cannot have a DA having 2 municipalities, yet they've not won the elections. So June, there's going to be a mayor who walks like EFF there.
Is this Ms. Mandi Samaship?
Are you saying that
She's capable of being a mayor too.
Are
Yes.
you saying that the EFF is willing to enter coalitions in exchange into leadership governance agreements in exchange for positions in municipalities? And is that your strategy for Gauteng? We've seen the polling. The ANC is below 50% in Gauteng across in all party polling. Is this? I mean, your support was 10% in this province. Are you expecting a growth there? Are you expecting to be kingmakers? And is that your strategy to bargain for positions? And
Well, we want to be government in Gauteng. We are going to be government in Gauteng. And if the need arises for coalitions, we will go into coalitions and we will participate this time around in coalitions, not for
Okay, a number of allegations being made there by Julius Malema, the EFF leader, against Karima Brown.